Of all the more tolerant and open-minded stances of Pope Francis, today we have a story which may be my biggest area of agreement with him. Think Progress reports, quote, "The Pope suggested that he would support a public financing system for elections, noting that such a method of funding elections would allow for," he said this, quote, "would allow for me, the citizen, to know that I'm financing each candidate with a given amount of money." Pope Francis called upon candidates in his home nation of Argentina to hold a, quote, "free, unfinanced campaign" during a question and answer session with low-income youth from Buenos Aires. The Pope also warned that campaign donations lead elected officials to act against the interests of the people. He said, quote, "In the financing of electoral campaigns, many interests get into the mix, and then they send you the bill," which is a great, succinct way of putting it, and he's 100% correct. So, we've gone back and forth on Pope Francis for a while now because he says a lot of great things, but then every once in a while he reminds you what he is, a religious leader. So almost by definition, it's like they're out of touch. But he made the comment about how, who am I to judge in terms of gay people? He said about atheists, can they get into heaven? Maybe, I guess so. There are various other open-minded comments that he made. But then he also threw in at one point that he supports exorcisms. Bill Maher spoke about this a while ago, and his perception of that was every once in a while he has to throw some red meat to the conservative base to let them know that he's still with them on some things, so he still gets some support from them, and they don't go crazy. So, yeah, probably a majority of his statements so far have been tolerant, open-minded, liberal, fair statements. He certainly more embodies the message of Jesus in the New Testament than any other pope I know of. But still, there's always that thing in the back of my mind, like, the whole reason for him being respected and in the spotlight in the first place is patently absurd. Because it's just he's the head of a religion. He's the head of Catholicism, which means that he's the head of a really large cult. So the media call His Holiness the Pope. Oh, he must be saying things that are directly from God, because look at him. He's a man wearing a cream-colored dress and a weird hat. So it's still this, leftover part of our primitive ape brain that's pushing us in the direction of listening to this guy in the first place, and I would hope that we could get to a point where this stuff is all marginalized. But as far as any individual can go within the given system, yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's better than any of the previous ones, like I said. And I have to admit, when he made these comments, he won me over a little bit more. Because this is the number one issue in American politics, and apparently, he has this belief as a matter of principle, so not just for the U.S., but for his home country of Argentina and probably for other countries. And to me, this is the defining issue, the defining difference between somebody who you can consider an ally, even if you disagree with them on everything else.